time, not so very long ago, when folks was different than they are nowadays. Everybody said yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and they meant it. It did seem like they did care more. Oh, it was an exciting time here in 2 Samuel. That's a funny name, isn't it? It comes straight out of the good book. 2 Samuel isn't what you call a big town, although we do have lots of stores. Why, 2 Samuel is even in a wet county. Our local watering hole is owned by Frisky Madison. It's just up near the lake, so with beer and whiskey, they sell live bait too. Generally speaking, things are hopping at the baiting brew. I did say generally speaking. 2 Samuel is a quiet town. You can hear birds a-singing, screen doors a-slamming. And sometimes at night, over at the drugstore where the traffic light is, if you're real quiet, you can hear it change colors. You really can.
B-flat? Who you talking to?
Nobody. I was just playing.
Well, how about you try playing a little bit softer, buddy?
That's you, Wes. He's my best friend. He's usually really nice.
B-flat, you sure there is somebody out here I ought to be knowing about?
Nope, nobody except just me.
I need you to help me get this place fixed up now. You hear? You remember to sweep up the front porch before you leave now.
U.S.? You reckon she's in heaven?
I know she is. God gotta have somebody up there to help him with the heavenly choir. I'll see you later now, buddy.
This is the summer that Miss Gertrude passed away. She was the sweetest woman that ever dropped breath.
She was the sweetest woman that ever dropped breath.
And the kindest.
And the Congress.
Never said nothing bad about nobody.
Never said nothing bad about nobody.
I'm fixing to get sugar diabetes listening to all this.
As you can tell, Miss Gertrude was dearly loved by everybody here in 2 Samuel. Well, except for Mr. Moselle, who don't like nobody. She was especially missed at the Change Your Life Hair and Beauty Emporium owned by Omaha, Nebraska Madison.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'll think of her every time I open a bottle of Blue Room. Mary Sue, do I need to tell your mama? You know what I'm mad to do? Go over to the funeral home and see if I can't do Miss Gertrude's hair just one last time. You know, sort of like a final tribute. Mary Sue, you're about to run me the wrong way. I want you to remind me of this if I ever agree to watch this devil child again. Hey, Lorraine! Oh, she was no trouble at all. Bye-bye, baby. Devil child from hell. Hey, Arletta. I'm just fine. Yeah, hun, I got you down for a wash and a set. I know, it's sad. Bless her heart. She's a fine woman. Can you bring me the bacon broom?
Bay and Brew?
If Frisky ain't too busy, do you mind if I spoke to him?
No, ma'am, he ain't busy. It's your wife.
Tell her I'm busy.
It's your wife?
Hello, honey.
I was just gonna tell you I might not be there when you get home for dinner today.
What you doing, baby?
I'm gonna run over to the funeral home and see if I can't do Miss Gertrude's hair just one last time.
Now, sweetheart, don't cry.
Oh, Frisky, I love you.
Me too, hun. Take all the time.
She said she loved you, didn't she?
None of your business.
I can always tell. Every time you say, me too, Hud, I know she said it.
You know what she's fixing to do?
Nuh-uh.
Go to June's and fix up Miss Gertrude's hair.
Your wife's a fine woman.
Thank you, Mansell.
US, you recognize sweep the storage room? I can get a baby Ruth right now.
Help yourself.
While you're up, why don't you grab me a cold beer? And take yourself a little sip as thank you.
Because you can corrupt and be flat now.
Oh, US. You sound like my wife.
I just don't want him turning out like some of the folks around here.
You better watch out about that boy.
Be flat?
Oh, that US mouthing off to paying customers and giving away your merchandise.
Don't you worry about US. He's been working here as long as I own this place. When I die, I'm gonna give him the bacon brew. But don't tell him it's gonna be a surprise.
You can't do that.
Why not?
He's colored.
Well, I'll be!
Don't be a smarty pants.
And don't you come in here messing with US. This is my store, and I'll serve who I want to. And I'll hire who I want to. And if you don't like the way I run my business, you can take your business elsewhere.
You know there ain't another place that serves whiskey for 10 miles.
I know. Boys, what do you say about pitching in some money to send some flowers over to Miss Gertrude?
Frisky, I love Miss Gertrude. But I don't have no money.
Be flat. You help me bring in the beer from the shed and I'll put in 50 cents for you.
Thanks, US. Thanks.
How about you, Mr. Moselle?
I ain't a giving.
I'll get it from you somehow, and you know it.
I ain't a giving.
US, put Mr. Moselle down for $1, and every time that he asks for a shot, tell him the price has gone up.
That's highway robbery.
Like I said, if you don't like the way I run my business, you can go somewhere else.
Oh, hey there, Marcella. How you doing? I'm fine now. The man's working on the barn roof. Been leaking for 6 months. Oh, you didn't tell me she was gonna be here.
She dropped in last minute.
Well, now the man's working on the barn roof. I don't have to worry about him leaving until he's finished.
How's that?
I put the ladder under the front porch.
Oh, you did it.
And then I told Junior to take Mansell's truck to the town for that picture show. And I took the sedan, so even if he does leave, he can't go no place.
Mansell, is that your tractor parked out front?
Yeah, my tractor. Reckon I can do what I want with it.
His wife wanted him to patch the barn.
But he didn't want to. So instead, he put a big hole through the roof, climbed out through the loft, and drove his tractor over here.
I didn't want to come, but it's the principle of the thing. Just because she's my wife doesn't mean she can tell me what to do.
Where's Omaha?
Oh, she went down to go fix up Miss Gertrude's hair one last time.
See, I don't think I could stand to touch a dead person. Well, that's where Omaha got her training. At her daddy's place, the Chattanooga Funeral Home. What? Yes, I thought sure you know. I thought you knew everybody's business in 2 Samuel.
Now you're just pulling my leg, so I'm not gonna give you another moment's thought. I really wish you wouldn't get her all stirred up like that.
I can't help it. She's just so stupid.
I wish I could stand up to her like you do.
Well, Ruby, honey, you can.
No, I couldn't. I want to. Though. Sometimes you just aggravates You know, some folks come in here treat me like dirt just 'cause I was a paid employee and not the owner. Ruby, will you give me a Coke from the back? $7. 7 cents? 7 cents. I swear if things get any higher. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. I was thinking of sending in some flowers to the funeral home. You want to come with me?
I've already ordered some for me and Mansell.
Oh, well, me and my husband, we just ordered this great big bunch of red roses. Well, he just thought the world of her, which is why I'm singing at her funeral, but I didn't know her much.
Oh, well that explains it.
What are you talking about?
I thought you knew everybody's business in 2nd Samuel. She hated red roses. Her husband died in the First World War and his body never recovered. Every time Miss Gertrude saw or smelled red roses, she would just burst right into tears. I would never send red roses to her funeral. People might think I was insulting her.
Oh, I didn't know. Ruby, where's the phone?
Yes, Arletta? Yeah, Arletta! Give me Mary Nell at the flower shop. Yeah.
I try to keep busy. There's a lot of things to do around town. Oh, there's Miss Omaha, Nebraska.
Hey, good looking.
What you got cooking?
I'm tell Frisky you're playing with Miss Omaha.
You going to Miss Gertrude's? Can I come?
Now calm down. I'm going to June's to help her get ready for the funeral.
Okay, I'll wait. I want to see her just perfect. The way God sees her.
My goodness. I'll try my best. Now you stop by the beauty shop sometime this afternoon, okay?
Okay, see you later, good looking. Where was I? Odd jobs. I do a lot of odd jobs around town. There ain't one store in 2nd Samuel that can't get along without me. Like at the Hair and Beauty Emporium, they save up all the old used hair and put it in a bag. I sell it a nickel a bag. It's a well-known fact that if you put hair in your attic, it'll keep the squirrels out.
Oh, come on in, B-flat.
It's real sad about Miss Gertrude.
It is, B-flat. I know you especially close to her.
She found my best friend. I could tell her anything.
Yeah, friends are good to have.
I put your bags of hair in the bag.
Oh, and grab us 2 Cokes. We can show 'em our trick.
Maybe now the county will lock up the simple-minded thing now that Miss Gertrude ain't here to take care of him. Oh, he scares me.
He takes care of herself just fine.
And he ain't simple-minded, he's just a little slow.
And if anybody should be scared, it's him. Who knows what you might do if you get real desperate one
I sure am glad you're going to be singing at Miss Gertrude's funeral. She'd always say you had the sweetest voice.
Well, I had no idea.
She'd tell your husband every Sunday.
Well, he never told me that.
He said not to, because your head was swollen up enough already. Here's your coat.
You ready? Just rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Marcella Dean.
Bye-bye, ladies.
Glad.
Folks are planning a little gathering for after Miss Gertrude's funeral. It's customary for folks to bring a covered dish. We'll all sit around eating and talking about Miss Gertrude. There are some things you have to work out. Like you don't want everybody bringing tater salad.
You get everything fixed up over at Miss Gertrude's?
Yep, they're spotless now.
I'm going over for folks come to clean up. Oh, I'll come too if you need help. I'm busy.
My wife's bringing some fried chicken. What's Marcella bringing?
Deviled egg.
It would not be a funeral without Marcella's good old deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs, wrapped in cornbread, pinto beans, and some sweet milk. Turnip greens, corn on the cob, butter beans, sliced taters and onions, and coconut cake. Oh, you know well. I'm bringing the paper plates. Wanna make something out of it?
Yeah!
Maybe me and my wife would have come over after the funeral.
Why U.S.?
I was afraid it might make some people uncomfortable.
Why?
Cause he's colored.
That won't bother nobody.
Oh?
He's always been that color. Everybody knows it. Me's and you's Miss Gertrude's best friend. It won't be right if you don't come.
I reckon. Come on. Howdy, fellas.
Hey, dog, pull up a chair. Are you going to Miss Gertrude's funeral?
Of course. She was one of my favorite patients.
Doc? What made her die?
She had a bad heart, are you glad?
Everybody knows how good a doctor old Doc is, even though he don't like to say so. That would be a bragging, and he don't do much of that. Oh, there's June Klein. She works at the funeral home, where Miss Gertrude is.
U.S., let me have a shot of burger. Better make that double.
Something wrong?
Oh boy, you better believe that.
What's wrong, Miss Omaha? What is it?
Well, are you gonna tell us, or are you just gonna keep running your mouth?
I'm getting to it. I was over at the mortuary tending Miss Gertrude when Omaha walked in. She said she wanted to do Miss Gertrude's hair. So I told her, why didn't she just wash and set it while I tend to what I needed to.
You're not gonna go into a whole lot of detail on what you did, are you?
Mr. Moselle, I provide a service, one that is needed by everyone eventually.
Tell us.
Omaha started chattering away. You know how she is. When all of a sudden, I noticed. I thought, that can't be what I thought it was. So I looked again, and sure enough, it was. I reckon I got real quiet, because then Omaha walked over beside me, and she saw what I saw, and she started screaming. I didn't know what to do. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before.
Well, what happened?
Miss Gertrude.
Miss Gertrude was a man!
Of course, you never expect something like this not to go around. But I never expected all the to-do about it either. They're getting all riled up that the baby blew true.
I just can't believe it. It doesn't seem possible.
Believe it.
We all know her so well. We seen her every day, just about. Did June, are you sure about this?
Frisky meds. I'll admit, I ain't an expert, but it's from telling men's folk from women's folk. I'll guarantee I can do that.
How did she hide it all these years?
I knew it.
Oh, horseman.
I did. She walked funny. She did it. Wiggle right.
Fine. You know what I mean. It's just, I spent all that time with her, and I never knew.
When did you spend time with Miss Gertrude?
Remember that time I was kidnapped by Nazis?
Oh, hell, man. You were not kidnapped by Nazis.
I was too. They grabbed me and my brother right off Myrtle Beach. Miss Gertrude believed this?
Well, of course she did. She didn't know no better. She's just an old woman. Why did he?
The answer to that is pretty simple. And I read about it in the magazine. Miss Gertrude was, what you would call kinky.
What have you been reading?
Regular old magazines.
I read Saturday Evening Post and Grit, and I've never even seen the word kinky before.
What are these magazines even called?
Can I borrow one?
Don't any of you worry about my magazines. What I want to know is why Doc is such a hotshot doctor, and how come he didn't notice? How come he didn't tell nobody?
Didn't figure it was any of your business.
None of our business?
Now, I've treated every person in this town, and you all got stuff you don't want getting around. Now, I ain't saying this thing about Miss Gertrude makes any sense to me. It don't. But as far as I'm concerned, Miss Gertrude was a lady.
Doc,
Yeah?
they mighty's upset, aren't they?
Seems things are getting that way.
Is it true?
About Miss Gertrude? It's true.
Why did she do that?
When she first come to me, it was strange, of course. Took me by surprise, I'd say. So I asked her, how come you like this? You know what she said? How come you like that? It's just the way we both turned out. As time went on, it didn't seem like such a big deal. She was normal, for her.
Didn't she think that people would find out when she passed?
A couple of years ago, we both talked if she'd given any thought. And she said, if her life wasn't enough to rise above her death, it wasn't much of a life.
I don't think I understand. But it's alright.
Why's that, son?
She's still Miss Gertrude.
That's right, boy. She's still Miss Gertrude.
In through the nose and out through the mouth. Come on. In through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm gonna put this in through your nose if anything else comes out your mouth.
How you doing, Omaha? Heard you got a bit of a shock.
Bit of a shock. I say fine now somebody I've been washing and setting for years as a man is more than a bit of a shock. Oh, my honey, drink this. It'll help. Hey, Doc.
It's okay, Miss Omaha. I know you upset, but it's alright. She's still Miss Gertrude.
Still Miss Gertrude? You big dummy, she ain't ever been Miss Gertrude. There was no reason to getting hateful with B-flat. Well, he needs to realize what's going on. There's just a little bit more going on than he can understand.
we can.
No. You wait a minute, Buster. You said you didn't tell any of us because nobody asked. Well, now I'm asking. Is there anyone else in town like him or him?
Miss Gertrude!
Miss Gertrude.
Now, I'm not saying there is, but I'm also not saying there ain't. Either way, it's none of your business. Come on, B-Flat, let's go.
Bye-bye, ladies.
Well, it's easy enough to figure out. Anybody's had kids can't be. Hey. Me and Bobby, we don't have no kids yet, but we're trying. And anyhow, Omaha ain't got no kids neither.
Don't you point your finger at me, Jimmy Pian. I'll draw my draws right here and now.
You see how folks are getting? Peoples gets upset when they feel like they've been lied to. Makes them all insecure. I don't think that's what Miss Gertrude had in mind. I remember one time, when I was real little, we were sitting on the piano bench and she was trying to teach me to play something. But I just couldn't do it. I said, Miss Gertrude, there ain't one thing musical about me. And she waited a moment because she knew I was right. And then she said, of course there is. There's something musical in everyone. Yours is your name. From now on, instead of calling you Bernard Flat, I'm going to call you B Flat. Miss Gertrude is the sweetest woman you'd ever want to meet. If it took her being a man for her to be as great as she is, well, I reckon that's okay. She's still Miss Gertrude.
Now, I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong, but I don't think it's fitting to be burying somebody like this in a family cemetery.
That time I was kidnapped by Nazis.
Oh my.
She brought me out to my house that night. She kissed my cheek.
I don't think we ought to allow a funeral. 2 Samuel is a good, clean town full of hard-working folk. And I don't think burying a pervert in our cemetery is what the good Lord intended.
And send them up to Atlanta or New York or some other place they allow weirdos.
He ought to be buried with his own kind anyhow.
Miss Gertrude can't be buried in 2 Samuel. We'll have to send him somewhere else.
Where?
Somewhere up north.
She don't got no people up there.
Well, she can't stay here.
We can't just stick her on the 7:30 Greyhound.
Well, where's she from?
Been here long as I can remember. We'll call Frisky. Somebody at the saloon will know. Hey, Arletta, bring me the bacon brew. Yeah, I heard about it. Bring me the bacon brew.
Bacon brew?
Y'all know what happened, don't you, U.S.?
Yes, ma'am. We was just talking about it.
Is Frisky there?
Your husband?
That's the only Frisky I know of. Is he there?
Hello, honey.
Frisky Madison, you ever heard of such a thing?
No,
Well, I don't know what we should do, but send her back to her people. Does anybody over there know where she's from?
Let me ask. Omaha's saying we should send her back to her people.
See, I told you.
Does anybody know where that is?
I do, but I'm not going to tell you.
Just a minute. What did you say, B-Flat?
What are you talking about?
I said I do, but I'm not going to tell you.
What's happening over there? Is that B flat? What's he saying?
You better tell us, boy.
No.
What's happening?
I hear B flat, but I don't know what he's saying. He's a hollering.
I'm not gonna tell you, cause what you're saying is wrong.
Frisky, you better talk to me.
Shut up, Omaha!
My daddy, before he died, said I should always be easy to get along with, cause I'm not as smart as y'all. But that ain't true. Yesterday, you saying how much you loved Miss Gertrude. And now you can't stand to have her buried here? She's the same person, ain't she? Ain't she? She had something different about her. I have something different about me. You gonna send me away when I die? US, please don't let this happen. Please don't let them do this. I hate you. You're stupid, all of you, and I ain't telling you one thing about Miss Gertrude.
I ain't ever seen B-flat acting like that.
Frisky!
Sorry, honey. I forgot you was there.
B flat pitched a fit.
He is so upset about Mrs. Gertrude's passing. And now we're trying to send him away. He's so dumb, he don't even know half what's going on anyway.
One thing, I ain't ever seen B-flat act like that.
I think I need a drink. US, one for me now?
Y'all, I just get an answer. Is there something wrong with me?
Ain't never been nothing but trouble.
Y'all don't think.
But the old proverbial has hit the fan.
If his daddy, rest his soul, were still alive, he would.
Y'all,
Shut up! We are trying to think.
I was hoping my friend would stand beside me at a time like this, but I reckon not. I'm going home.
That's not funny, Frisky.
You mind handing me a cold beer?
Sure. Do you want that in a glass?
What's that supposed to mean? Is that some kind of trick?
You're keeping mighty quiet about all this, boy. Usually you love putting your 2 cents worth in.
Didn't seem like my 2 cents were worth needed.
Well, you've got to have some thoughts about it.
Remember about 10 years ago, when my wife Sarah got real sick?
I remember I told you take off as much time as you needed.
About the 3rd day, Miss Gertrude came over and she said that she was gonna stay. And she was gonna be there for as long as we needed. I told her, what are people gonna think? A white lady coming at a colored family's house. You know what she said? She said, that's what friends do for one another. I think B-flat's right. He's different and so am I. But none of you have a problem with it because you already knew it. Ain't nothing we can do about it.
But the Bible says...
But the Bible says to love one another. That's it. Just love. Miss Gertrude was a wonderful person. Before all this happened, ain't nobody had nothing bad to say about her. Now, I don't know why she did what she did, but it ain't our place to judge, isn't it? I'm gonna go over to Miss Gertrude's and get the place ready for the gathering. Because that's what friends do for one another.
Can you believe that?
No, Mr. Moselle. That's enough.
I don't really hate you.
I knows you don't.
But it hurt my feelings when you didn't stand up for me when they were saying all that stuff.
I knows.
How come you didn't?
Cause I'm more comfortable not commenting on the ways of white folks. Especially when they get all proud up.
'Cause your color?
Cause I'm different.
People's funny.
How come?
Mr. Frisky, he's different from old Doc. And Mr. Moselle, he's different from everybody. U.S., how come some difference is okay?
Well, Miss Gertrude was real different.
That don't make no sense.
Then you explain.
Explain, Miss Gertrude. People think they know something because they found out a secret. But secrets ain't nothing. If they were anybody's business, they wouldn't be secrets. I love Miss Gertrude. This is her home. This is where she belongs. I'm glad you ain't dead.
That boy got more sense than all of us put together.
Mr. Frisky said y'all wanted to send Miss Gertrude home. I'm here to tell y'all where that is.
He's like, you don't.
Yes, he does.
Tell us.
Miss Jimmy Deanne, she's from here, 2nd Samuel. She lived right over yonder on Railroad Street.
See, I told y'all he don't know what's going on.
Yes, I know you want to send Miss Gertrude home. This is her home.
No, honey. That's not what we're talking about. We need to know what town she's from.
That's what I'm saying. She's from here, 2nd Samuel.
We want to know where she was born so we can send her back to her people.
It don't matter where she's born. It matters where she lived.
Maybe her family.
She don't got no family but us. She always say, I come from a dark and horrible place where nobody spoke to you. She said it wasn't like it is here in 2nd Samuel, where everybody helped each other. She said 2nd Samuel was like a great big old family, and that I should be proud to live here. Because she sure was. Let me see. What was the name of the town she was from? I think it was...
No. I said no.
We don't really need to know.
You sure?
We're sure.
You don't care anymore?
We know all we need to know about Miss Gertrude.
That's right.
Okay. I don't really understand. But I'm gonna go back to the bacon brew now.
Be flat.
Yes, sir?
Never mind. I'll see you at the cemetery.
Everybody was at the cemetery. After people's getting all upset, and they finally realized what I've been saying all along. Now she's still Miss Gertrude. Peoples are mighty ashamed of the way they acted. Like Miss Jimmy Deanne, she brought the biggest bunch of flowers you've ever saw. Not roses, though. She said Miss Gertrude didn't like roses. I don't know where she got that idea. Miss Gertrude raised prize-winning roses back yonder in her backyard. Well, it's almost time for me to go to Miss Gertrude's for the gathering. There'll be lots of food and cake and iced tea, and maybe Miss Jimmy Deanne will sing a few more songs. And then we'll just talk. That's the best part. We'll talk about Miss Gertrude and how much we're gonna miss her. Because that's what we do here in 2 Samuel.